Hey guys, I'm here to review the new album from Stolen Jars called Kept.
You were caught in my head, I was feeling my teeth fall out. Guess you take me instead.
So I always love going to concerts where I don't know some of the opening acts because oftentimes I find that I'm very impressed by what I see, and I often find bands that end up becoming some of my favorite bands. And this is kind of what brought me to Stolen Jars. I recently saw a concert with them and Rosie Bangle, In Writing, and Hodera. And I kind of got there as they were doing their sound check. Nobody else was really there at that time. I kind of felt a little bit awkward, just stood in the corner as they were doing, get everything set up. But I was very interested in the sound that I was hearing from them. And then when the show actually started, I was very impressed by their stage presence, by their sound, and it's generally something that I don't really listen to that much, but honestly, they've really kind of caught me off guard here. So after the show, I actually ended up briefly talking to one of the members of the band, Cody, and actually bought their album Kept and listened to it on the ride home from New Jersey, and kind of been listening to it ever since. And honestly, the title song Kept is actually still stuck in my head. So Kept have a unique kind of interesting setup. They have a frontman guitarist, they have two front women vocalists, they have a keyboardist and a drummer. And really what's nice is that they all kind of form this cohesive mesh, and they all also stand out at the same time. They all manage to kind of bring something to the table that really helps them stand out amongst the other band members, and yet everything does come together. And it's most evident in their stage presence, but you do really hear it on the album as well. So Stolen Jars and the album Kept, it's kind of like a indie folk song, album. Pretty mellow. They do some pretty unique things with their sound. It's very, I would say it's a moody album. It really does kind of create a mood, and it's kind of atmospheric at times. As I mentioned, the title track Kept is extremely catchy. It kind of reminds me of something that would have been played during like an early 90s indie movie, or it almost reminds me of Vampire Weekend, their hit track, and it really kind of has that vibe to it. And the rest of them always kind of keep you on your toes. Every song on there is different. They have a completely instrumental track, which by itself, it doesn't outstay its welcome for instrumentals, but it doesn't leave you wanting vocals on the track either. And there's a lot of emotion in the lyrics. The vocal work is probably the most interesting thing to me. They have, like I said, two female vocalists as well as a male frontman who does the guitar work as well. And the harmonies between them are just excellent. I mean, you really, if listening to the album, I probably couldn't tell that it's two women harmonizing together, because they just do such a good job at it. And the playback between the male vocalist and the two female vocalists also works very well. And like I said, they all kind of bring something unique to the table. Even the drumming is just not something that I'm really used to. It's not, it's not punk influence. It's not really rock. It's hard to explain, but it really does add to that atmospheric, moody feel to it. It really is going to put you in the mood. And like I said, the title track I could see on a soundtrack for an early 90s indie movie. Pretty much describes the whole album. That's kind of the vibe that they have going on. And I do very much enjoy that. A lot of it is really kind of catchy. It's nice to just sit down and relax and listen to this album. So like I said, I'm really glad that I did discover this band by going to a show. I mean, I literally never heard of them before, but I was really impressed by what they brought to the table, and this is a fantastic album. I definitely suggest going out and supporting them if you can, and getting this album. I highly recommend this if you're into something that's kind of, like I said, mellow, soft kind of indie folk music.